After 9 months of pregnancy, the big day is here. But before it happens, are you ready? In the final part of our series on pregnancy and baby life, we found out what you need to do before delivery and what the moments that will take your breath away are really like. Dr. Stephen Morgan, an OBGYN with Hackensack Meridian Health, says the goal for women is to come to a hospital already in labor rather than having to be induced.
If they have to be induced, it's typically for a medical reason or if they're post-dates. So we have different agents that we can use to help soften or ripen the cervix so that it starts to open and dilate. They're typically administered transvaginally, either a tablet or another medication that comes kind of like in a lace, like a string. And then typically once the patient dilates, if we need to induce them or if their labor has stopped and we need to help move things along, typically we'll break their water by breaking the bag of water and allowing some of that fluid to decompress the cavity. The uterus can contract a little bit more frequent and stronger, and that usually will help keep them in labor or put them into labor. If that doesn't work, then typically we'd move on to something called Pitocin, which is an intravenous drip that we titrate very slowly until the patient starts to contract on a more frequent basis.
During the delivery itself, Dr. Morgan said they need to check and hear certain signs as the baby is born.
The baby is going from, for lack of a better analogy, amphibious to non-amphibious. So the baby's not breathing oxygen like you or I. The baby's getting oxygen through the bloodstream through the mother. So the baby's blood, our blood, goes through our lungs to exchange carbon dioxide and oxygen. The baby can't do that. But when the baby's born, we want the baby to cry, scream. It opens and closes a couple of valves that allows the baby to now use its lungs and to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide. So the first thing we want to do is bulb suction the baby's mouth and nasal cavity to make sure that there's no fluid in there so the baby's not having a hard time taking breaths or choking on water. And then, we check the baby's heartbeat, we check its the heartbeat pulse, check its tone and its color, make sure it's turning pink and not blue, or the extremities or the hands are usually the last to start turning pink. And then we do what's called an APGAR score, and that helps us determine if the baby's being resuscitated, in a normal fashion to know that the baby's doing okay. If there's any signs of distress, typically we'll call a PD team in, which means the team from the neonatal ICU will come over and help assess the baby. A lot of times the baby typically just needs to be a little stimulated. A lot of moms and dads think it looks a little rough what they're doing to the baby, but what they're actually doing is kind of getting the kid to respond and get the kid to take a cry and arch its back and move its muscles. Yeah, so if the baby's not breathing, then obviously we need to give the baby oxygen, clear its airway, and call the PD team. And sometimes we have to even give compressions and start a little bit of CPR to get things going.
A Jersey Shore mom of 5 who gave birth to her first son over the summer, Sandra, discusses some of the changes, joys, and pains of a pregnancy. During her pregnancies, just getting up and moving around made a difference early on.
Especially those first 3 months when your body, the baby's just kind of sucking everything from your body. So walking definitely would be therapy for me, and it would definitely even just make me feel a little bit better.
A baby moving inside the womb can bring on all kinds of emotions and feels, sometimes painful ones.
I remember one time this pregnancy, I was like, ouch! And I just got such a huge kick in my rib. And it's almost like I couldn't even control the ouch because it just happens.
Sandra says there are certain parts of the day where you can feel the baby moving, but other times you may not even realize it.
It's nice to definitely feel the movement. And then some days, your days are so busy where you're like, oh my goodness, did the baby move today? Did you feel the baby move? If you're not thinking about it, which you don't always want to think about when the baby's moving. You just kind of want to go on a daily basis and live your life, and then when you feel the baby inside moving, it's super cool.
When Sandra was in labor, there were a couple of key tricks, including having ice chips handy that she said helped her through the pain.
The ice chips help you, and then just moving around, walking around. The big joke is once I'm plugged into everything, like every 5 seconds when the contractions start coming, I tell my husband, unplug everything, let me just walk around, let's just walk it out a little bit, and then we plug back in.
When her children were born, there was excitement and love filling the room and a lot of people in the room as her son was born.
They took the baby and then they started, sucking everything out of him. And I was like, wait, what are you doing with the baby? What's going on? But it's exciting that he's out and that the babies are out. And then I kind of just want to make sure everything is going well, because then the pediatricians come in, the doctors are all in there, and the nurses. And just want to make sure when this last delivery, I said, what is going on here? There's like a big party in here, because there's about 15 team members in the room. But I think it was just all to make sure that the baby and myself was good.
For Sandra, a pregnancy is a growing relationship and daily partnership with her child.
Make sure that you feel well as a human being and that you have a smile on your face and you're eating well to make you feel good, to give you energy, to keep on going on your daily schedule, because it definitely isn't easy because you have a human being growing inside of you. And so the two of you kind of have to work together, the person who is pregnant and then the little baby that's inside of them, which is such a miracle.
Sandra's 4 daughters are excited to have a baby brother, but they leave diaper duty to mom and dad.
Well, they definitely don't want to change his diaper because they realize that he's a boy and they're girls. But they really do take care of him now. They always want to hold him.
If you are struggling emotionally following childbirth, Dr. Joanne Chang encourages you not to be afraid to ask for help, even if it's just to get some sleep.
Sleep deprivation definitely affects your emotions, and combined with all the hormone changes that occur after pregnancy, it can lead to some really high highs and some really low lows. So helping a new mother get maybe just a few minutes of sleep, a few extra minutes of sleep is really helpful. If you feel like your low lows are abnormal, like if you just don't feel normal, I get a lot of women in my office who say, I just don't feel right, I just don't feel like myself. Go see your physician, go see your doctor, and don't take no for an answer when they say, oh, it's just baby blues. If you really don't feel right, find somebody who can help you. There's a lot of resources in the area for people with postpartum depression.
Sandra's advice for other moms out there is to work together and enjoy the miracle and blessing of having a child.
If all the moms out there could help everyone become good moms and better moms, that would be awesome, because it's a learning experience every day. And the more good in this world and the more positive moms and dads out there, all the positivity will just keep on moving and just rolling throughout the world, which would be awesome. It's all about the positivity. It's all about just making everyone good people.
Congratulations to all the expecting moms out there, and to all the moms and dads who have a new member of the family to raise and share joy with for all of time. For Townsquare Media News, I'm Ebenau.